All right, so we're going to look at how to solve an absolute value inequality given the direction of the inequality. So if your inequality, the symbol is facing to the right, then we're looking at a graph where we're going to use the compound word or. And then if the inequality is facing to the left, we're using the compound word and. But before we get into that and going into some more solving of it, let's just look at a basic um, absolute value inequality where it says here the absolute value of x is greater than 3. So if x is greater than or equal to 3, then x is more than 3 units away is more than 3 units away from 0 on the number line in either a positive or negative direction. So to think about this, because I'm telling you how you would set up your inequality depending on how the symbols, the direction of the symbols, but here's the why. It will either be an or a and. And we've already talked about a compound inequality, the conjunction of and, but we're going to look at or where the numbers are going to be, or everything is going to be facing the opposite direction. But what would this graph look like? X is more than 3 units away from 0 on the number line in either a positive or negative direction. Here is 0. Here is positive 3. Here is negative 3. Because remember, when we talk about absolute value, we're going to use the case of the positive side and the negative side of the number line. So here, we're more than 3 units away in a positive direction. And then we're more than 3 units away again in a negative direction. Because remember, we're saying what two numbers will have the same direction of as 3? How 3 units away from 0, positive 3 and negative 3. So when we graph this, this is what we have as our solution on the number line. So we can say, if we wanted to write this out, we can say x is less than 3 or x is greater than 3. But as an interval notation, this is writing it out as a solution set. Okay. As an interval notation, we would write it as where does the graph start, where does it end, and everything in between we have to try to represent. So we would say negative infinity, comma, let's start over. Open parenthesis, negative infinity, comma, negative 3, close parenthesis because of our symbol that we're using, union, and then where does it start here? Because what you're saying here is that there's a break. So we use the union symbol, open parenthesis, 3, comma, and then uh, positive infinity, and then our close parenthesis. So here again, now we're going to look at some more examples where we're facing looking at or as well as and. But how you can determine an easy way, look at the direction of the inequality. If it's facing to the right, be it greater than or greater than or equal to, we have an or. If it's facing the inequality arrow is facing to the left, left less than or equal to or less than, it's an and. And we're going to do some of those, of each of those.